Welcome to week 5 and to a new set of async content which links psychodynamics, a field of psychology, to leadership practice and leadership analysis. Within psychodynamics, we will focus on a specific niche. It's called transactional analysis, and it is quite different than a notion we encountered last week in transformational leadership. We talked about transactional leadership. That was a very different thing than what we covered this week, which is transactional analysis. So allow me to begin sharing the slides I prepared for this week on psychodynamics and transactional analysis, and approach this field of psychodynamics with some clarifications, such as the fact that the key concepts in this domain are things about personality in terms of models that we acquire in our early developmental stages, in our early childhood. It starts with the assumption that our early experiences impact our reactions to paternalistic and maternalistic familial patterns of leadership. And this area of research even came with a recommendation that maybe there is no need to match leader personality to subordinates, as other frameworks recommend. And this is because different ways of behaving is taxing, especially under stress for leaders. Therefore, I would say this area of research actually recommends an authentic style of leadership true to the personality that we have, which is argued to lead to more natural interactions and less taxing on our psyche. Games People Play was a book published by Eric Berne in the 60s that built this transactional analysis model from Freudian roots. It deals with this idea that we have 3 ego states: parent, adult, and child, and there are distinct systems of feelings and behavior patterns, and we shift between them given the situation. The parent, the first ego state, deals with behaviors that we observed in our childhood, and they're very similar to our parents and carers at that time, because they represent a position of responsibility and authority, and we associate this state with rules and orders and structure. And we've seen that in our childhood in these carers of ours and our parents. Parent, however, this notion has 2 facets, I would say, 2 sides: the controlling parent, which deals with judgments of good and bad, right or wrong, black and white, and rules focused, structure focused. Then there's the nurturing parent, the provider, protector, and attentive nature of the parents. The adult state is about being engaged with now and here. It's about reality testing, mediating between the other 2 states, parent and child, and obtaining a balance. The adult is looking at the present, trying to manage the contingencies. It doesn't dwell so much in the past or in the future. It's observing what is going on in the moment. Child is about behaving as one did as a child. It has 3 sub-prototypes, I would say: the adaptive child, conforming and adapting to the demands of others; rebellious child, the non-conforming, challenging others; and the free child, which is acting like an uninhibited, unsocialized child. The psychodynamic approach focuses on these ego states in which we enter, and it argues that we are oscillating between them depending on internal, external triggers. Who you are as a child and the behaviors of others who played important parts at that developmental stage somehow is argued that rejoins our present as templates of behavior in given situations. There's a video I will post also as async content with more clarifications on these ego states. But the takeaway from there is that there is no such thing as a state better than other. So we shouldn't judge any state. Just it's important to observe it because there are implications for the state that we observe. And to echo Ben here and his SBI, the ability to observe without judgment is often argued to be the highest form of intelligence. And it is argued by researchers in this field. It is important to take on this perspective of just being an observer and not judge, not make assumptions, as Ben would say. This is an illustration of the main discourses that a child's ego state represents, comparing to the parent ego state. So a child that is natural, I would say things like, I want, I need, satisfy me, give me. Then we have the parents' ego state on the other side. And this is actually the controlling parent saying, no, you can't, you must not, it is not allowed. The nurturing parent would say things like, it's okay, please continue, don't worry, I'll be there. All right. So the main understanding here is that we have these three ego states, but there are implications when we take into account the interaction with others, because others also have three ego states. So they may have the situation may trigger them to be in a certain state, and there are implications for the correspondence between the leader state and the follower state. However, keep in mind that no state of mind is good or bad. They will either be helpful or unhelpful in certain situations. This knowledge is not designed to bring about judgment on others or ourselves. The next video will be about consonant relationships between ego states of followers and leaders, and also how this is relevant to leadership. See you in the next video.